There was plenty of excitement out on the field for day 2 of Tennessee's preseason fall camp. Josh Heupel seemingly in midseason form already with a backwards hat. And then a good sight for everybody, Bru McCoy also out on the field today. A moment Coach Josh Heupel described as a big moment for the receiver because his presence adds to an already stacked wide receiver room. I'm Paige Dower. This is the Field Pass. After the defensive line, the wide receiver unit is probably the deepest room on this team, strictly from a numbers standpoint. You have athletes like Squirrel White, Chaz Nimrod, Chris Brazzell, Caleb Webb, and so many more players that we could go on and on and on in that room. But one player the Vols are surely eager to get back at full strength is one Bru McCoy, who a season ago does about everything Tennessee needs him to do, like putting up key blocks, which we saw time and time again. It was in that season, while shortened because he got injured during the South Carolina game, that he had 17 receptions for 217 yards. The season before that, when Hendon Hooker was the quarterback, he had 52 catches for 667 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, during today's practice, which we only got to see the first 3 periods, McCoy was a full participant in that stretch. Despite the tape around his ankles, he looked as strong as Joey Halzle described him to be.
Man, Bru McCoy, like that ankle injury was, we all saw it, but the fact that that kid is out there running full speed and making cuts and making catches and didn't gain a bunch of weight, and Kai still looks like a superhero when he walks around out here. It's like, this guy is absolutely insane.
Now, we were able to see Bru McCoy go through a number of drills, and it looked like he was going at full speed, looked as healthy as he's maybe been since this time last year, and he's so eager to get back to that 100% mark that Joey Halzle will say that the coaching staff often has to reel him back in as to not push himself too hard.
It was like, all right, what's my job? What am I supposed to do when I can't run right now? And he did that. And the training staff was actually saying, hey, Bru, we got to pull you back a little bit. Like, he's pushing it over and over and over to try to get there as quickly as possible. The guy's just an absolute animal in every aspect of whether it's strength training, conditioning, his rehab, his football knowledge. Like, he just attacks it all the same way, which is why he's made this comeback so quickly, which I don't know if everyone thought he was going to be able to.
Now, being back out on the field today and this week and for preseason fall camp is a benchmark Bru McCoy has been working towards since that injury a season ago. Josh Heupel calling it a very exciting sight to see.
You could tell just walking out on the football field for him today at practice, it was a big day for him. Everything that's gone into from the injury to the rehab, mentally and physically, getting back to the point where you're ready to go compete. We're going to control his volumes, but build it as we go through training camp. Today was a big moment for him. Really proud of what he's done and how he's grown. He's a tremendous leader inside of our locker room, and really excited that he's back with us.
And of course, Bru's impact on the team goes beyond just the production that he has on the field. Despite the time that he's dedicated to his rehab process, he's continued to be that veteran leader that this program knows him to be. Even today, freshman wide receiver Braylon Staley talked about how he's the ultimate player's coach.
It's amazing. You know, Bru is just a fantastic leader. He helps us on and off the field. So in the meeting rooms, he's just coaching us up like he's Coach Pope. So, I mean, Coach Pope really don't even have to do any coaching if Bru in the room. So I love Bru.
Now, Staley and Mike Matthews, there are 2 additions to the wide receiver room that continues to add to that depth that we talked about at the beginning. There are also 2 early enrollees who are here for spring ball. They now have a couple of months of Tennessee football under their belts, and it was the offensive coordinator, Joey Halzle, speaking on those 2 athletes that they've really developed their mental game and understanding of concepts incredibly well up until this point and have really made a name for themselves within this team up until here at preseason camp.
So really excited about that. They can just go out there and actually operate, because that's what keeps most freshmen off the field. It's usually not talent. It's usually not their ability to make a catch, make somebody miss, go run. It's can they actually handle and do the right thing at the right time. These guys have shown at this point that they can. And, I mean, you saw through the recruiting process what those guys are physically. They're special players, so they got a chance to come in and keep pushing this thing.
Now, with the additions of Staley and Matthews in that wide receiver room, it's really a testament to what Kelsey Pope has been able to do with that unit. From the transfer portal to recruiting, he's been able to not only add depth, but quality competition in that room. And it's a sentiment that we'll hear from all of the coaches time in and time out, is that iron sharpens iron. So much so that defensive coordinator Tim Banks was talking about how really those receivers are giving his corners all they can handle.
You know, I think, our guys recognize that in the recruiting process. We know we'll have, tremendous receivers year in and year out, and we feel like we're building the back end the same way. So the more those guys can challenge each other in practice, the better it will be for us in the long run. It's a league that has a ton of great wide receivers, and the fact that we get a chance to go against some great ones in practice only helps us.
Now, Heupel and staff are very high on the potential of their receivers inside the 2024 season, from the size and strength, playmaking ability, their understanding of concepts, and the trust that they have with their veteran players. It should be a very exciting bunch this upcoming season, and we will see the team in shells and pads as preseason camp continues. They're off on Friday, so we'll be back Saturday with more practice recap, practice reports to share with you all. But at this point, thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to continue supporting us. We've enjoyed that support so much up until this point, but we will be back Saturday with more, and you can go back to the homepage and see some practice highlights from earlier today as well. I'll chat with you guys later.